Hello all, Hridaan and me. Today we are coming live for Dr. Seuss session. It's long time we have come with a story on Swagat Children Library page, but I think we are going to make it on a routine now. Okay, so Hridaan, first of all I'd like to tell you, Hridaan, tell your page. You have got a page, no now? So tell everybody at Swagat Children Library so they can come to your page. Tell them. You say.
Nah.
Okay. So Hridaan is feeling a bit shy. I'll say he has got a page now on Facebook @Hridaan Patel. So all of you can join there and listen to his stories. Sundays by Hridaan. Then you have Poetic Thursdays, poetry by Hridaan, and you will have a lot of coming things like Sacred Space and book reviews and lots more. Fine, we'll start with Dr. Seuss, Daisy Had Maizie. I think all of you love hilarious stories, and this one is a bit very funny, and I'm sure all are going to love this. Well, here we start. She was sitting one day at her desk in a school in her usual way. Yeah, like you all, we missed a page. Here is Maizie by Dr. Seuss. And here is the page that I missed. It's hard to believe such a thing could be true. And I hope such a thing never happens to you. But it happened, they say, to poor Maizie McGrew. And it happened like this. She was sitting one day at her desk in a school in her usual way when she felt a small twitch on top of her head. So Maizie looked up and she almost dropped dead. Something peculiar was going on there. A daisy was sprouting right out of her hair. Here, you can see this. A flower coming out of her head. Behind her was sitting young Herman. But Strudel, this looks like Daisy up here on her noodle. It doesn't make sense. Why? It couldn't be so. A noodle's no place for Daisy to grow. Then up spoke another boy, Instant Van Tess, the brightest young man in the whole of the class. It's a very odd place to be sprouting a daisy, but nevertheless, one is growing on Maizie. Hey, look it, cried Butch. Right here in this room, Daisy had Maizie. She's bursting in bloom. Miss Nature, the teacher came rushing up quick. Such nonsense! Some child here is playing a trick. Which one of you boys stuck that thing in her hair? You know that the daisy could never grow there. But teacher, said Butch, I saw the thing rise right off the head with my very own eyes. Just give it a yank if you think I tell lies. Here's the teacher, and she's annoyed who is playing the trick, she says. But Butch is right. There's something stuck on daisies. But Miss Nature had great quiet enough to stop. Maizie, hold still. Let me get at that stalk. Quitch, hollered Maizie. Quit yanking, but said, you are giving her pains. I'll bet that those roots go away down in her brains. The kids in the class started shouting like crazy. Daisy had Maizie. Children, be quiet. Good grief and alas. Miss Nature was shocked by the noise in the class. I have taught in this room 20 years, maybe more, but I've never seen anything like this before. I'll have to report it. You'll just have to come to the principal's office and show Mr. Graham. How many of you have teachers who shout in the classroom, in the online classroom? You have a teacher who shouts when you are very naughty, isn't it? So here, see, she's taking Daisy to the principal here and Mr. Graham's office. Now the principal, good Mr. Gregory Graham, was a very wise man, just as smart as they come. He knew more than anyone else in this nation. But long division and multiplication, he knew all the answers. Why the oceans are deep, why the skies are so high, and why mountains are steep. He should have the answer to this thing on Maizie. My word, he declared, it's a genuine daisy. I have seen them quite often in fields growing wild, but never before on the head of a child. Here you see, you find any daisy growing on the head of a child? You want a flower on your head? Oh, no ways. But now that in the world ever made this thing sprout? I have no idea, but I am going to find out. It says here, it says daisies grow on the land. They grow between rocks. They grow also in sand. It mentions right here they can grow in a pot, but mention the head of a girl. It does not. Daisies, it says, sometimes grow in Alaska. Also Missouri, Rhode Island, Nebraska. They grow in Japan and in Spain and in Peru and India. Our country, isn't it? France and in Idaho too. They grow in South Boston and also in Rome. But why should they grow on the little girl's head? You find all in the books. So if you are reading, you find everything in the books. You should always feel the joys of reading, isn't it? Yes. Say, look it, said Maizie. It's wilting, it's dropping. How wonderful. Maizie, it soon will be dead. You'll be rid of the daisy. In just few minutes, our troubles will pass, declared Mr. Graham. Take her back to the class. Then the principal saw a terrible sight. The daisy was dying, and that was all right. But that daisy was part of poor Maisie's McGrew, and Maizie was startling to it away too. Teacher, said Graham, you know what I think? They are both going to die. Hurry, bring them a drink. That daisy, that girl's worst problem in town. You take her away and you make her lie down. You lock her up tight in that room down the hall. There are quite a few numbers that I have got to call here. See, they make the Maizie grow. Why? Because the flower is dying. So, they gave water to the flower. Yes. You see? A call to the shoe store reached Mr. McGrew. He answered by holding a customer's shoe. Yeah, this is it. Oh no, I really must go. A doctor should see her, the principal said, an expert on plants like the one on her head. So he called Dr. Ensbart, who said, what a treat. My stethoscope packed. I'll be there in a wreck. Wait, doc, said his patient, I'll come along too. My breath are wet and he knows this McGrew. When he heard, Finch and Flores grabbed for her shears. I'll be there just soon as my truck can shift gears. Here, see, the doc is running. Doc treats the patients. Meanwhile, poor Maizie lay down on the couch. The daisy slumped down in the leaves in a slouch. But the window was open because it was warm, and the sweet-smelling daisy attracted a swarm of bees. Yeah, a swarm of bees on the head of the daisy Maizie. Why? Because the bees are attracted, and they buzz, 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 buzz. The bees are coming. The faster she ran, the faster they flew. Here behind the Maizie, the bees are running, flying. So Maizie kept running. What else she could do? She attempted to hide behind Officer Thatcher, who cupped out his hat like a bumblebee catcher. The bees took his hat. Thatcher said, I'm no fool, and ran after Maizie back to the school. Here, Thatcher. Principal Graham didn't know what to do. It's worse, much worse than we feared. The daisy and the Maizie have both disappeared. Behind her came charging Mr. McGrew. chased by the customer chasing his shoe. Finch, the florist, Dr. Inchman, too, Dr. Inchbard's patient, and Mrs. McGrew. Here they all came running. You want to show them the picture? No, but I'll show them here. They all came running. See them. Then through the window with Officer Thatcher, who slammed the pane shut so the bees couldn't catch her, jumped Maizie McGrew to the floor in a splatter with the daisies still there, except taller and fatter. Yeah, my poor little daughter. They got her scissors. See?
Oh, shit.
Tut tut, said the florist. There's no need for tears just because there's a daisy between her 2 ears. I'll snip it right away with the sharp pruning shears. She's my patient, don't touch her. You must stand apart. We have to have the room, Dr. Inchbard. I think that Maizie and a plant could help me grow a research grant. Yeah, he's thinking of his business only. Then the poor door opened wide and the mayor stepped inside. At meetings and greetings there was none to compare. He was best as long speeches chock full of hot, and I promise my friend that if I am re-elected, this daisy on Maizie will be disconnected. The law of our fathers is simple and sound. Daisies belong and should stay in the naughty. Daisies belong and should stay in the ground. The rest are illegal. We'll bar them from town. What do they say? They will bar them from town. Yeah, only we have a few pages more. From the back came a voice, sometimes loud, sometimes slick, of a wheeler and a dealer who knew every tick. I'm the Finagle, the agent. You have heard of me. I represent Young, what's his name, and others now on tour. But Maizie, you are so special. What he says? Maizie is very special. Maizie had spelled out a bright light with will draw kids in the day and parents at night. Daisy had Maizie, you have got quite an act. Just stick with me, kid, and sign this contract. Your flower needs to be signed too. Here, he signs a contract. See? So lucky she is that she's got a flower, and here she's going to be. Let's read out first. Her mother said, Maizie, don't be a fool, and the principal begged her not to leave school. But Maizie didn't stop to blink. She signed her name in think-proof ink, and the daisy signed too. Daisy had fever, was gripping in the nation. It had quickly become a worldwide sensation. Yeah. See, the television news also speaks about Daisy. Daisy had burgers, Daisy had drinks, Daisy had stockings, and Daisy had sings, Daisy had buttons, and Daisy had bows. Maizie was famous and star of a show. Fame had knocked on Daisy's door. Now she had it all and more piles of money stacked in tens. Here. See? She's becoming famous. And what money without friends. A dream had led her far astray. That was a price she had to pay because she had no friends. Maizie ran night and day, nowhere to go, nowhere to stay, because she was sure that everyone must have written her off in a total disgust. Over and over again in her head there are no words that poor Maizie said. I can never go home. Nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. Yeah, she goes. Because she's got a flower on her head. Nobody loved her. Poor Maizie McGrew. It's hard to believe such a thing could be true. A job of a daisy is try and find out. They love her, they love her not. They love her, they love her not. They love her, they love her not. Yes. How many of you play this game? You love me not. You love me not. Don't worry, Maizie. They all love you. They love me. See, the magic happened. The flower is gone. Because, yes, they all love you. Well, that's how it happened. The thing went away and Maizie grew. Magrew is quite happy today, back at the studies and doing just great in all her subjects in room number 8. And concerning that Daisy, you know that it never grew out of the top of her voice again. And oh, what happened? What happened? It practically never popped out of her head, and here she has it again. Yeah, ting, exceptionally, occasionally, just now and then, not always. And after all, she's getting used to it. She's getting used to it. So, that was Dr. Seuss for you. Daisy had Maizie, and you have feel the joys of reading. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.